Chapter 7. Terms and Conditions of Employment of Overseas Seafarers. This chapter talks about the rights and protections that overseas Filipino seafarers have when it comes to their employment contracts, working conditions, wages, leaves, and benefits. It makes sure that everything is fair, legal, and protective of the seafarer's welfare, whether you're working on a ship owned by a local or foreign company. Section 34, Standard Employment Contract, SEC. Every Filipino seafarer working abroad must have a written employment contract called the Standard Employment Contract, CC. This document must include important details like the seafarer's complete personal information, full name, birthday, address, and ID numbers like seafarer's record book and seafarer's registration number, the ship owner's name and contact details, where and when the contract was signed, how long the contract will last, and the seafarer's position on board, the salary and how it is calculated, along with the work schedule, including hours of work and rest, information about benefits such as overtime pay, holiday pay, vacation leave, medical insurance, and social security, SSS, PhilHealth, PAGIBIG, etc. Details about what happens in case of illness, injury, or death, including disability assessment procedures involving doctors from both the company and the seafarer, and a neutral third doctor if needed. The contract must also clearly explain how termination or ending of the contract works, whether it is for a fixed duration, a specific voyage, or open-ended. The SEC must be written in English or translated into a language the seafarer understands and signed in 4 original copies, one each for the seafarer, the ship owner, the ship, and the DMW. Section 35, Hours of Work and Rest. This section protects seafarers from being overworked. Normal working hours, 8 hours a day with 1 rest day per week. Maximum super 14 hours in any 24-hour period, 72 hours in a week. Rest time has at least 10 hours every day, split into no more than 2 parts. One must be at least 6 hours long. For those in watchkeeping duties, more flexibility is allowed, but with limits. Extended watchkeeping can only happen for 2 straight weeks, and after that, enough rest must be given. Rest and leave while docked is also encouraged for health and wellness, depending on the port's rules. Section 36. Entitlement to leave. Seafarers are entitled to paid annual leave, calculated at a minimum of 3.5 days per month of work. This can be more depending on the company, the contract, or any union agreement, CBA. Section 37. Wages. This ensures fair and timely pay. The seafarer's monthly wage must be at least equal to the industry standard and paid at least once a month. If there is a CBA or company policy that provides higher wages, that should apply. Section 38. Allotment and remittances of wages. Seafarers must set up an allotment. This is a system where part of their salary, at least 80%, is sent monthly to their family or chosen beneficiary in the Philippines. Employers must help facilitate this without charging any fees, and it must go through an authorized Philippine bank. Any extra earnings or back pay can also be remitted through the same process. Section 39. Limitation on wage deductions. Wages cannot be deducted unless it's allowed under the law or the contract. The seafarer gives written permission. This protects against unfair or hidden deductions from a seafarer's salary. Section 40. Personal effects. Seafarers can bring a reasonable number of personal items on board as long as they don't cause problems or hazards. If these items are lost or damaged due to events like fire, shipwreck, or piracy, the ship owner must compensate the seafarer, following local and international standards. Section 41. Social welfare benefits. Seafarers must be enrolled in all necessary social protection agencies, including our for welfare and support, SSS, PhilHealth, PAGIBIG, and ECC. This gives seafarers access to healthcare, housing loans, pensions, and other government-mandated support. Section 42. Sick leave and sickness benefits. If a seafarer gets sick after departure, during transit, or while in quarantine, they have the right to paid sick leave or financial benefits until they are fit to join the vessel. Section 43. Payment of wages to abandoned seafarers. If a seafarer is abandoned by the ship owner, they are still entitled to their full wages and benefits as stated in their SEC or CBA. This ensures that seafarers are not left unpaid or helpless in a foreign country. Summary. Chapter 7 guarantees that Filipino seafarers working abroad have clear, fair, and legally protected employment terms. It makes sure contracts are complete, wages are fair and regular, working hours are reasonable, and benefits like insurance, leave, and medical support are provided. It also adds layers of protection if a seafarer gets sick, injured, or even abandoned. All of this helps make sure that Filipino seafarers are treated with dignity and respect in their careers at sea.